In a world where no one knows who started the Civil War, one Scituate High School history class has decided to defy the odds and inform the American public.
I, Ulysses S. Grant, believe that the cause of the Great War of the Rebellion against the U.S. will have to be attributed to slavery. All must be before slave or free, or the state will go down.
We made a great mistake in the beginning of our struggle, and I fear, in spite of all we can do, it will prove to be a fatal mistake. We appointed all our worst generals to command our armies and our best generals to edit the newspaper.
Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves.
All her troubles to him, and God simply made me the instrument of his punishment. The country is not what it was. This forced union is not what I have loved.
Song of the South, sweet potato pie, and I shut my mouth. Gone with the wind.
Writing allowed me to express my beliefs and be heard at a time when women didn't have much say or credit in society. Actually, one of my quotes, I actually said that enslaving the African race is a clear violation of the great law which commands us to love our neighbors as ourselves. So we don't like slavery. On this subject, I do not wish to think, speak, or write with moderation. No, no. Tell a man whose house is on fire to give a moderate alarm. Tell him to moderately rescue his wife from the hand of the ravager. Tell the mother to gradually extricate her babe from the fire into which it has fallen. But urge me not to use moderation in a cause like the present. I am in earnest. I will not equivocate. I will not excuse. I will not retreat a single inch, and I will be heard.
I strongly believe in slavery. In fact, I even held slaves myself. But I do not believe in expansion of it.
The first shots of the Civil War, as we stated earlier, the Union and the Confederacy.
We did, but that's not really saying a whole lot. Since it was Abraham Lincoln who made an indirect attack on the Confederate States that made us scared.
That war could have been avoided between the North and the South?
I think it could have if it wasn't for Manifest Destiny.
That's called Calhoun.
Mr. Calhoun.
Most esteemed members of the jury, my name is John C. Calhoun, and I stand before you here today to prove that the War of Northern Aggression was just that, a war of Northern aggression that was caused by the North. In addition, I was chosen as one of the 5 greatest American senators in 1957 by the Senators. As you can see, I am well educated and qualified, and do in fact know what I am talking about.
We're known to spend government money very easily. Is that correct?
If you say so.
And so, with this in mind, do you really think you're qualified to argue about an economic issue like this?
I do. In fact, I was named one of the 5 greatest senators in 1957 by the Senators.
I'm Thomas Jonathan Stonewall Jackson. I was shot by friendly fire, forcing the amputation of my arm. Then I died of complications from the surgery on May 10th. I died saying, "Let us cross over the river and rest under the shade of the trees."
Generals of the
I plead the fifth. No pleading the fifth in this courtroom. Yes, I am, yes.
Why does all see?
And I worked my way up from starting from the bottom, and I came to the top. So, well, I am known for my famous quote of saying, "I am more afraid of alcohol than all of the bullets of the
As a
enemy."
young man of only age 21, I volunteered in the Richmond Militia, which was the militia that hanged the abolitionist John Brown. After witnessing this execution, I began to conspire and create plans for President Lincoln. It was in the Constitution that we were allowed to have slaves, so we
Could you
just left with it.
tell me where in the Constitution this is stated?
I don't have the Constitution on me.
No further questions.
People, according to a 7-2 judgment by the Supreme Court. Is that correct?
Thank you.
So therefore they would not be considered foreigners because they're not considered
North has no right to blame the war on the South, as they were greedy, aggressive, and hypocritical. I think slavery was all that good. I ultimately fought for the South to support my homeland. I wasn't against slavery. I owned slaves, but I released them all before the war.
I was unable to find a strategy to defeat the larger, more powerful, and better organized Union. For many years, I argued against secession, but did agree that each state was sovereign and had an unquestionable right to secede from the Union. My diplomatic effort...
You said in your speech just now that you...
Did you write a book apologizing for the war?
Yeah, it was pretty long, too.
Some people may know me for my mishap with Charles Sumner, but it was all his doing. The man maliciously attacked my family, my uncle, and I could not sit around and do nothing. So I did what any family member would do. I stood up for the honor and dignity of my uncle. Slavery for the South is like factories for the North. They need each other to survive and grow. So for the North to perpetrate the war of Northern aggression is beyond my knowledge.
Make it legal to go around and beat someone with a cane if we don't like what they say? Make you feel that many of your fellow Southerners were appalled by your actions and they didn't even stand behind you?
They did stand behind me because when I resigned, they re-elected me. So.
And why did you resign again?
I resigned because
were you ashamed of what you did?
I wasn't ashamed. I just thought I'd rather not have any more tension between the North and the South, so I just took it upon myself to resign.
Even though a lot...
Hello, my name is Hiram Ulysses Grant. I grew up on a farm with my parents, and there, I wasn't very good at anything. We found out that I was only really good with horses. Yeah.
Objection. Irrelevant.
Would you agree that alcohol clouds your judgment?
No, because I won.
The Civil War occurred for one reason and one reason only, and that reason was slavery. Slavery is ultimately what divided our country and led to these other problems I stated. Please do recall when the country was first founded, there was no North and South. There was only America, and America is what the North wished to preserve. The North's philosophical differences over slavery are what caused the war. But it was not until the South took tangible action by seceding and firing the first shots of the war did the Civil War officially begin. Again, the defense may try and persuade you that the North's actions led up to this conflict, but that is not the question on trial today. We are simply trying to determine who started the Civil War, and frankly, this is hard to debate. In consideration everything that's been stated throughout this trial, it has been more than proven that the South's actions of both seceding and firing the first shots at the Union are truly what began the Civil War. Thank you, Your Honor.
The prosecution has attempted to divert your attention from their actions to a single scapegoat, slavery. They claim for decades, New England states benefited from engaging in slave trade with the South via state and privately owned businesses. Abraham Lincoln even told Harriet Beecher Stowe, both on the North side, that she started the war. The North was not after the South's mistreatment of slaves. They were after the money they were making on it. The North remained completely ignorant to another key factor in the equation. Slavery, at the time, was perfectly legal. The Southern plantation owners were simply exercising their rights given to them in the Constitution. Admittedly, it may have not have been the morally right thing to do, but no crime had been committed in the eyes of the law. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I urge you to look past what the history books and accounts written by the Union victors have told you and look at the facts. The South is not responsible for the Civil War. If it had not been for the Northern economic greed, aggression, and ignorance to the laws of the country, war may have been avoided and American lives may have been spared. Please, in the name of justice and this great country, find the defendant not guilty. Do not punish the South based on the biased justification and victorious North. Today, ladies and gentlemen, are the ones with blood on their hands. Thank you for your time and consideration.
So, Mr. Foreman, would you please rise? Mr. Foreman, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Mr. Foreman, to the charge in this court today on his 28th day of March 2014, to the charge of did the South cause the Civil War, what is your verdict, yay or nay?
Yay.
Thank you, Mr. Foreman.